My bad.
Motherfucker.
Ooh. You know what? We're out.
Restart.
Bro, fast forward.
Okay.
Welcome back, Washed Up Walkons fans, to episode 101 of the podcast. And today we're back for what's probably going to be a pretty fun episode. If I had a crystal ball and I rubbed it, the genie would say that this is going to be the most fun episode we've had, because we're back with our guy George, and it's another off season where we're just going to reminisce on the good times from the season before. And luckily for us, Georgie brought a guest. It is Rob Tonyan of the Green Bay Packers, and he's another buddy of ours that we met through George's roommate in Nashville. We've had some pretty good times with Rob. Maybe we get into that. Maybe we just talk football. We'll see where it goes. But it's set to be a good episode, so let's get into it.
Georgie,
Hey.
thanks for coming on, buddy.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me, guys. Excited to be back. You know, this is the start to my new year. And, you know, who else would I rather be quarantined with than with you guys?
Probably.
Yeah, that's honestly the truth, except for I was supposed to be quarantined with you. I would have just stayed in Nashville, but you didn't let me come.
That's probably a good idea for my family's sake, because there's 6 people living in this house already.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a virus center.
Oof.
Actually, we haven't left the house in like 8 days.
And
Drake's
Drake's dirty.
And
Drake's
Drake-
nasty.
And Drake's
That boy Drake nasty.
Look at your face.
Listen.
Get out of our
Yeah, what-
face.
So,
Listen, man, Rob, you can't come on my podcast like that. That's
Yes,
just
sir.
inexplicable.
yeah, so real quick, Rob is correct. Drake is he's probably patient zero on the coronavirus. Rob, I'd like you we haven't even met in person, but thanks for coming on with George, by the way.
Absolutely.
I want you to give our fans, the people listening to this, just a real quick rundown on where you're from, where you went to college, and how you became a Packer.
Yeah,
And George's roommate.
no doubt. Yeah, so I'm from a small town, McHenry, Illinois, just 10 miles south of the Wisconsin border. I'm right next to the town Johnsburg, where CJ Fedorowicz is from. Yours truly, Iowa. Go Hawkeyes. And
That's right, Rob. You got it down, bro.
yeah, no doubt. And then I went to Indiana State as a quarterback. Played quarterback and receiver there. And then I went undrafted to the Lions, got cut, and then been with the Packers for the last 3 years.
There you go. You had to.
How'd you and George link up?
So me and George have the same agent, and we went pre-draft training together down in Frisco, and just trained at the same spot, had the same agent, and then obviously knowing George's personality, and now you guys will get to see mine of why we became friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We go together pretty well.
Well, that's good.
It's like cookies
Considering
and
we're
cream.
living together.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm interested. When did because you're a tight end, right?
Correct. Now I'm a tight end. Correct.
Bro, they wear the same number.
Right. When was the old
Hey, Lou, good research on your podcast guest.
hey, George.
Nope. I like it.
Um
I'm like the guy who's like, you haven't unlocked yet, and you just gotta like.
Yeah. Unlock
say-
it.
He's
Also-
a mystery player.
yeah. George, I didn't know Rob was joining us today. So fuck you, first of all.
Drake didn't tell you? We've had this plan for like a week.
No.
Hoover's been in Mexico, bro. He's been contracting the coronavirus and bringing it back across the border of the United States like a total prick.
Yeah.
Like all the fucking, the spring breakers that go down to Miami and bang each other out and give each other the corona and shit.
Wow.
Like that's what Kluver did in Mexico. They flew down and they just contracted it from all the other filthy people that go to spring break in Mexico. And
Hey,
Yeah.
Some very respectable people that went to Mexico for spring
No,
break.
there's some real scumbags that go to Mexico for spring break.
Anyway.
And that's what Kluver brought back the corona, so that's where he's been. So
Okay.
I didn't break the news to him.
Yep, I've got corona. Anyway, moving to what I wanted to talk about. Rob, you were a quarterback and a receiver. At what point did you have to start drinking cottage cheese to put on some weight to play tight end?
So when I graduated going into the draft, some teams saw me as receiver and some saw me as tight end. So at the end of the day, business decision, longevity in the league, becoming the tight end was just, the right decision. And how I was still growing, body was still growing. So it was it was hard at times, but, easy transition overall. Just took some time.
Yeah, that's good. Any special tricks to put on a little extra weight or just go to work?
Honestly, I went to work. I didn't really do any tricks. I just did 6,000 calories a day and just, that's to the point where I didn't even enjoy eating.
That's
It was more of a chore than enjoying to eat. But, it's all worth it.
Yeah, we've all been there, baby.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, yeah, we definitely have. Yeah, that sounds incredible. I'd love to be eating 6,000 a day right now. So George, some things happened in football.
Hey,
this year.
Kloof, what's up, man?
Some things happened.
Yeah, you grew facial hair.
Pretty sexy, huh?
And lost all the hair on his head. Take your hat
Yeah,
off.
it came from his head.
Take your hat
Straight
off.
from your head? Yeah, no, let's go.
And then,
Oh my.
yeah.
Oh, Kloof, what are you, 35? Do you hang out with Pat Anger?
What'd he say?
He asked if you hang out with Pat Anger because
Your
obviously
hair.
hang out with Pat Anger, your hair
Because
falls.
Pat looks like he's 45. For
Pat
some
and I, since the quarantine began, we've been having just a one-on-one happy hour with each other every night where we just watch back old WWE replays.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I caught the no hair virus from him.
Don't be spreading that shit, all right?
Yeah,
That's
I
what's
know.
coronavirus.
I like my hairline, so don't send that shit my way.
Relax, bro.
And I think George makes a lot of money off his hair, so don't send it his way either.
Working on it.
I know he makes a lot of money off his eyes because his fucking glasses ads come across my computer screen all the time. God damn. George, you played in a Super Bowl, huh?
I did.
Was that
Wow.
the coolest thing that's ever happened in your life?
Yeah. That was one of the that's like a top 5 moment for me, I guess. It was definitely surreal.
Yeah.
Like you dream about your whole life, like playing the Super Bowl, all like the imagining it as a little kid. So I definitely took time to enjoy it, especially pregame, just running on the field and stuff. It was definitely
Now, I got a question. What was cooler, actually playing in the Super Bowl, or you guys doing that, pregame reveal with the fucking Rock interviewing or having you being introed?
That was nuts, dude. I think, my breath was actually taken a little bit more away from that than the actual Super Bowl. It was crazy. I was standing there. I stand up on the stage like, hey, the Rock's going to introduce you. I turn around. The Rock's chest to chest with me, super sweaty, like just absolutely massive. It was nuts. I literally felt his biceps just to make sure I could say I touched the Rock's biceps. And they're massive.
They look fucking
they're
massive.
massive.
Now,
So
like you and the Rock are seem to be kind of buddies on Twitter now.
I would say no. So our friendship peaked after this moment because he gave me one of his bottles of tequila that hasn't been released yet.
Terramana.
Yes, I'm 3 bottles.
How is it?
I really enjoy it. I'm not getting paid by The Rock, but I approve of his tequila.
We can definitely shout out the
disclaimer.
Rock's tequila. And
I don't believe that one bit. I think George is getting paid a lot by The Rock.
It's not an ad, but buy his tequila when it comes out.
I feel like with the value you brought with your play this year on the field, you're probably being paid to say every word that comes out of your mouth nowadays.
Drink Bud Light.
That's exactly why I'm fucking.
Hey, there we go, baby.
I'm literally. This is for you, George. Hey, and buy George Kittle merchandise.
Hey.
Buy my man's merchandise because it looks sweet. And
I like that one.
It's for those watching this episode. It's 3:20 on Sunday afternoon, and Drake is
It's 1:20, dude. I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
I'm on the West Coast.
right because that makes
Yeah, it's an
any
afternoon
better.
delight, baby.
It's
Yeah,
5 o'clock somewhere.
But
yeah,
you had
no, Super Bowl was sick, and beating the Rock was definitely also up there. I will say this: losing the Super Bowl is, I will say, like the shittiest experience of all time. But the Rock gave me a shout out like the next day on Instagram, so that was pretty cool too. Help me out a
Right.
little.
All right. Losing the Super Bowl versus losing the Big Ten championship.
Super Bowl.
Well,
Yeah.
I figured, but just give me like a scale. Was it even close or?
No. The Big Ten championship game was top. Yeah, top 3 worst moments ever. Super Bowl topped that one like pretty easily too.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
can only imagine.
I think strictly because of that, it's like it's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest stage. Like when you're a little kid, like you dream of going to the Super Bowl. Like it's not. I don't know. We all made dreams of like playing the Big Ten championship, stuff like that. But like the Super Bowls, it's just the Super Bowl. So it's just kind of like, holy shit, like it's here.
It is literally the epicenter of the fucking sporting universe.
Dude, that video of you saying you're gonna be back with a vengeance, though, that was a boner. That was.
I was just gonna ask about that.
Yeah, I was pretty fired up there at the end.
I felt that way. Not that I had any real control over it, but after the Big Ten championship loss, when we all just sat in the locker room, in my head, I was like, we're going to be fucking back. We're coming back. And it's just, does that, you maybe haven't even processed it yet, but does that on your mind, you ever think about that where it's like, it's so hard to put a season together where everything's perfect. And in college, I guess it would have been
my redshirt junior year.
Yeah, it would have been your second to last year. So you only had one more year to go after a Big Ten championship. But even then, like it's unless you're Ohio State, it's so tough to just get back to the championship game.
That's the thing. What else I was going to say about it? Like that's the shit. Like one of the parts that's not the most fun is like you put in how many weeks it is, like training camp, preseason games, then the whole regular season, like 17 straight weeks. Into the playoffs, you got to win those. And then, it's just like, it feels like you invest so much more. And so, yeah, I guess that's why it sucks more. Yeah.
How's your fucking body feel after that?
I got to get on one of the winning side of one of those.
Yeah, for real. Kev, ask it again.
How's your fucking body feel after literally playing football for like 8 months?
I will say this, like not having to do blocks of 9-on-7 every day definitely protects my body a little bit.
I guess. Blocks in that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the one thing I love about the NFL is like the practice schedule. Like, I'm in pads once a week, and it's for like 45 minutes tops.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no issues with being in shoulder pads. Like, you gotta be in pads, you gotta hit to get better and stuff. But just like when you get to week 12, 13, 14, you're just kind of like, wow, with playoffs, like we got another like 6 to 8 weeks left.
That's at the end of a college season. You got 8 more games.
At the end of a college game, I had what did I play in this year? What did we go 15-3 or something like that? Yeah. So I played in 18 games this year, however many it was. 19 games.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Rob, how does your body feel?
You know what? I'm all right. I'm doing all right. Getting better.
The long NFL season doesn't take too much of a toll on you?
No, it didn't. This year, more so than, others just because, being in a new position and, getting more, reps, years on and weeks go on. And, you definitely learn and appreciate how, good it feels to feel good, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. George, you're my hero.
What?
I said you're my hero.
No, Sofro's your hero.
No, Sofro's not my hero.
I'm kidding.
Yo, how was it playing each other in the NFC Championship game? Because a year ago around this time, we were hanging out in Nashville, and I was just getting to meet Rob, but y'all are best friends, and y'all played in the NFC Championship. That's kind of the pinnacle.
Yeah, that was sick.
Super fun.
I think what was great about it was that was the second time we got to play each other, so it was the second time we got to see each other. Well, no, when I first saw Rob, I brought him a toothbrush and I tried to RKO him out in the middle of the field while he was warming up. I was trying to stick up on him, which is fun. football, I mean, it's serious, it's our jobs and all this stuff, but it's fun to be able to go mess around, just hang out with your buddies, right for a game, just to relax a little bit. So I've always enjoyed that part, especially playing people I like, and especially playing Rob, and he's my roommate. I actually get to hang out with him all the time. Just fun to see people again, because that was the first time we seen each other in since July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you that's the weird thing about football. You go a long time without seeing your boys.
Yeah, it's true. In the NFL, which is part of kind of the business side of it, it becomes much more of a job, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And for you, like we talked about before, we're not going to get into specifics, but does the business feel to the NFL? Does that ever weigh on you anxiety wise? If kind of you just don't know what's going to happen? Things change all the time.
I don't know. This could be different for both of us. For me, I'd say 50-50. Yes. You can think about it, but there's no reason to think about it, because all you have to do, you just control what you can control, which is your performance on the field, how you get your body ready, your body maintenance. So, I mean, it is mental. You have to be mentally aware to not think about stuff that you can't control. Because when you start worrying about everything in the organization that, it's going on, and you're just I can't control that stuff. So why would I put my effort into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with George, almost verbatim, because at the same time, it's there and you have to respect it's there, because that's how you respect the game and respect that it's your job, and actually have to give it your all, because it is a business to it. But at the same time, you just got to go out there and play football and do what you do, because that's what you're there. I mean, the business aspect of it is because you're playing football.
Yeah. Well, if you take care of it on the football field, then there's nothing you got to worry about.
Either of you want to jump in, or I have another question?
I got a question, kind of. It's more for George, because I saw on Instagram that a couple of the big names from the Niners left. I was just wondering what it's like to lose teammates to a different team, because we never experienced that in college. When you become boys with somebody, it's y'all are on the same squad for no matter what. It's always Iowa forever. But a couple of your boys just got to go play for another team. I was wondering what that kind of feels like.
It's crazy. I kind of figured it out last year. One of my boys, Cole Hicatini, went to the Vikings in the after preseason. What was that? I've lost a couple buddies, just going to other teams and stuff like that. But when it's Defoe, trading him is kind of weird, because I've been with him for 3 years, captain with him for 2. So it's you just get to know guys, and you're not in college, you're meeting families and stuff like that. You're building relationships and stuff. So yeah, when guys leave, it sucks. But I'm just so happy for especially Emmanuel Sanders and Defoe. They both played their hearts out all year, and they both get rewarded for it. I mean,
Emmanuel Sanders just went to an offense that's going to be out of control.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't play defense, dog. That's going to be tough.
That's problems, dude.
That'd be tough. But yeah, no, it is weird. Jimmy Graham just left, for the Bears.
Going to Chicago now.
But I mean, for me too, my tight ends room, Toy Lolo just went with the Giants, and Garrett Selk just retired. So, and then tight end coach's son, who was our assistant coach, just got the tight ends job for the Colorado Buffalo in college, where his dad went to college. Was pretty sick. But out of our 6-person room, we just lost 3 guys.
Wow.
So it is when you think of it like that, we got to replace some guys. And so I'm looking forward to see how that goes. See what tight ends, pop up in our tight end room this year.
I mentioned the sunglasses or glasses ad that you did.
Zenny, baby.
In the NFL, this is something that really intrigues me, because one, more and more of this is going to be coming to college probably soon with some of the legislation changes. And it's kind of what we've done here with the podcast, is leverage our platform as an athlete in the public eye to kind of use as a business tool and just grow a personal brand. What is it like or what are your thoughts on balancing yourself as an entrepreneur outside and off the field, and while trying to continue to focus on your job and mainly tight end?
Awesome. I like good question, Kluber.
Yeah, I run this fucking podcast, by the way.
I like that shit. So
1000% shout out Kluver.
All right. So honestly, when it came to when I started getting opportunities in marketing stuff, my first thought was always back in Iowa when KF he'd always talk about like your like basically would say fuck your brand, it's all about your team stuff.
Right.
And so that's always in the back of my head because I'm a team guy through and through. I don't really care about stats, all that shit. If we win games, I am so happy.
Absolutely.
Part of it. So that's always in the back of my head whenever I think of stuff. I have some pretty good like I just have rules for my stuff, my marketing stuff. I don't do shit in season. Like when I'm in season, it's football. So if you want to get me in February, March, April, I'm all yours. But other than that, like you're not going to touch me for the whole year. And I think my marketing guys who work with a bunch of people say I'm very not very many people do that stuff, but that's just how I've made it work for me. Like as soon as like camp starts, there's nothing else going on in my head. Like I know during my bye week, like last year I did a thing with like a Panda Express thing, but it took like 3 hours. So I mean, that's not too much of a big deal. And so I'm just always smart with it. Like, there are guys that do like signings on Saturdays before games.
Wow.
I would just lose my mind if I had to ever do that.
Yeah.
I'd get so mad. So that's always my big thing with it. I try to be, I do things that I love. Like, so I got to work with Panda Express. I got to work with Bud Light. Like 2 companies that I enjoy.
That Bud Light in the Bud Light cooler.
Got a Bud. My request in the deal was I got a Bud Light fridge, and they stocked it for me when I want it. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. I was gonna say.
I know. That's why we're trying to have a bridal shower this April, but if it does, I was like, hey, come drink free Bud Light, and hopefully it can still happen, but we don't know.
I was gonna say the Panda Express one would probably be take precedent in my life. I would be asking for orange chicken every other week.
Oh my gosh, that's why I go once a week because they just give me a gift card.
Right.
Chow mein or fried rice, George?
Half and half, dog.
Really?
Half chow mein, half fried rice, orange chicken.
Dude.
Hey George, now that you're not the Iowa City George Kittle, you're the 49ers George Kittle, do you still go in and ask them for a sample to see if their honey walnut chicken is fresh or honey walnut shrimp is fresh?
I refuse to go through drive-through at Panda Express.
My guy. You're still an OG.
Hey, this is funny. So I always do like Panda Mondays, right? And I always go to the same Panda Express in California, which is it's very close to my house. And so it's an easy drive. And so I posted it a couple times and then I took a photo. And so this is 100% Jimmy G goes in with me one time because he wanted Panda because it's close to the stadium. And they all recognized him. And since I was with them, they found out who I was. So now I go in there by myself and they still recognize me. So they took a photo with me one time and they hung it up. People saw it, and towards the end of the season, people were waiting on Mondays in Panda Express.
Holy shit!
It was creepy. Like I sent my dad in one time because he was out for a playoff game, and he said there were over 20 people just sitting there with 49er stuff on.
Oh my god,
that's fucking funny.
So okay, that brings up another question. Like, you were the best fucking tight end. I don't know how this happened.
The PFF #1 ranked player in the whole world.
In the world, dude. And so this brings with it some crazy shit. Rob, I know you're still here. Not trying to.
Hey, we're chilling, dog.
Yeah. So like you've reached this level of like, Iowa City, the guys go out, people know who the football players are. You're wearing the sweats, like you're bigger than everybody else unless you're me. And you're eating at wherever, Stella, and a group of people know you're the players. Cool. Like they notice you. You're like, hey, can we get a picture? Cool. Low level.
How many times did you get asked for a picture?
Me?
Yeah.
Every time I was with Josie.
Yeah. Very fair. That's a great answer, Kluver.
Hey, Kluver, that was funny, dog.
Yeah. So anyway, that's like a local celebrity status.
Oh wait, real quick. Hey, shout out Ike's new baby.
Oh yeah.
Huge shout out
Clayton
to
Timothy. 9 pounds, 11 ounces, fucking moose.
Yeah.
Dude's gonna
be a
huge.
stallion. Oh
gosh.
What's bigger than a stallion?
A
Clydesdale.
thoroughbred stallion.
Ike is bigger than a stallion.
Ike is, yeah.
And his kid came out almost 10 pounds. So guaranteed going to be the starting left tackle at Iowa for probably 53 games.
10 years.
Do you think Brian's already offered him?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian is sitting in his office with a skin ripper.
Dude, Brian was in the delivery room, man. He got to hold the baby first.
He had to measure his hands and his
It's
reach.
like that. It's like probably that the scene out of 300. He's inspecting the baby. He's like, yeah, I think this one will do.
Did you guys see that video on Barstool about the dad put his 3-year-old daughter through a combine workout?
Oh yeah, I did
that
see
was
it.
comedy. All right, Kluber, back to your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway, so even the long snapper who's fat gets to experience some level of this weird local celebrity status in Iowa City. You are like a face that's known now in probably other countries. You're that famous.
Your face was on the Nike ads in Miami for the Super Bowl.
Right. Which is all to your credit. Congrats, my man. You balled the fuck out.
Appreciate it.
You're killing it. And how do you is that weird? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's super weird. I always luckily I have a really good circle around me that helps keep me grounded. My dad, my mom, my sister, my wife. Rob does a good job of roasting me every day to make sure I don't get a big head.
Good shit, Rob.
Hey, there you go, Rob.
But I think what I always try to imagine is I always go back to being a little kid, dreaming of being in the NFL. And I always remember as a little kid how what NFL superstars meant to me. When I got to meet Dallas Clark was one of the coolest meetings of my entire life. I'll never forget. This is no shade, but I sent a helmet to Bob Sanders and he didn't sign it and he didn't send it back to me. So I'll never forget that. And I was a little kid like that. I always thought about that. So now when I do stuff, I always think of that little kid and hey, am I doing what a little kid would still appreciate and would still love me for? So that's kind of how I always think about it. I always just try to do right by my 8-year-old self catching touchdowns for my dad in the backyard.
Well, if you didn't have if some people of this podcast weren't fans of you before, I think you just won them over with that.
So that's how I always try to do it. I just try to do right by that kid, and I feel like I've been doing a good job of it. And then, like I said, my family does a great job of keeping me grounded. And I always the only reason that people know who I am at all is because of how I perform on the football field. And so I always realize that if you stop performing, that also goes away as well. So, I'm just going to try to be the best at what I can. I'm going to try to be the best football player I can be for as long as I can be.
Dude, you sound like an Iowa football player, dude.
I do all right. KF was pretty good on me for 5 years.
So, George, you're probably one of the more popular players in the league right now. Everyone loves you because you're a goofy dude. I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't like you. Are you going to run for president or governor? Or what's after football?
Is it going to be 85 squared for president someday? That would be super cool. Because Robbie T would be a hell of a vice president, dude. Or Pete. Pete would be a great vice president too. It could be 3 times.
I know it's funny. Rob was actually talking to us. It was either yesterday or the day before about how he wanted to be a mayor. So good question.
Wow. I think you could probably do it.
Oh my goodness.
I think maybe the next step is you just kind of follow the Rocks blueprint. You get your own tequila going. You get.
Oh, dude, my dad would be so on top of that. The amount of tequila that we drink is awesome.
I mean, movie star is the next thing.
Here's a great Bruce Kittle story. Is that it was at your guys' wedding shower, I believe, at your house, George? Is that what that party was? Great catered.
Kittle Fest?
No, it was in Iowa City. It was at your parents' house. Grace.
Oh yeah. That engagement party.
Yeah. So your engagement party. Yep. And so I know Bruce, but the way that Bruce greeted me, it was a handshake. He didn't say anything. He pointed me to the bar. We took a shot, and then he said the first word. So words weren't spoken between Bruce Kittle and I at this reception until a shot of tequila was down.
Bruce was excited that night. He my first drink of the night, he was like, "Hey, let's take a shot of tequila," and I was like, "Awesome." and he gave me a red Solo cup filled to the brim with tequila.
Oh,
I said, "Thanks, Dad."
You did that to me one time too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
as
his
a
move.
shot. Like,
I have a-
Yeah.
I have a great Bruce Kittle story.
If Bruce is bartending, go somewhere else unless you're ready to go for it, man.
Unless you're ready to party.
Another
Bruce is trying to commit homicide with those tequila shots.
another great thing about Bruce is like your dad got recognized for those letters that he sent you on ESPN, and it's crazy for me to see it because we always sat next to each other on the bus going to the game, and like I always saw you read the letters, and I was always kind of curious like what was in them and stuff, and then all of a sudden everything happens in life, and now your dad's letters are on ESPN from the back of the fucking bus at the Marriott, or whatever.
That is crazy. You know what's weird too? I haven't seen any of those videos because I know they've done a couple on them. I've never seen the final result. I do the interviews for them. But I'll tell you that's just complete side note. But you just got me thinking about that stuff. Like all the promotional stuff that I do and all that, like that you do like pregame and all that stuff, interviews, behind the scenes stuff. I never see all this stuff that's on TV because I never watch a football game.
Yeah, that's weird.
Super weird. Like I saw the Rock clip of him actually introducing me like last week for the first time.
Wow.
Someone tagged me on Twitter. I was like, oh shit, that's what it looked like. That's
neat.
Sick. I was like, that was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have time to do all of it and then watch it all back.
You just don't even think about it because it's like, I don't know. To me, it's weird to go back and just watch an entire football game with commentary and stuff when I was doing it.
That's hilarious. So, real quick before we move on, my Bruce Kittle story. So it's nothing bad. It was just really funny, and it's just your dad being like an awesome, just funny guy.
I think I know this one.
I don't think you know it, but so I don't remember what year it was. It had to have been 15, maybe the summer or spring of 15, and it was WrestleMania. And Steve Manders, the one called Manders, and I, and Claire, and George, and maybe I don't remember if Riley was there too.
You literally just said Claire, and she walked in the door, and she's telling the story.
We're talking about when we all came over to George's parents' house to watch WrestleMania in college, and I got there first that night, and you were in the shower, I think, George. And your dad was the only other one home at the time, and you told me to just walk in the door when I got there.
Yes.
And I had never met your dad in person. He knew who I was, and but we had never met. And so I walk in, and he's standing in the kitchen, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was like, I'm Tyler Kluber. I'm here to watch WrestleMania with George. And he's like, did George say you could come in? I was like, yeah. He's like, if it was up to me, I'd tell you get the fuck out of my house. And I was like, I stood there literally. I was like, he's like, I'm just fucking with you. George is in the shower. You can go downstairs. And I was like, oh man. Because if you don't know your dad, he's kind of an intimidating looking guy. Like
he's scary. He's scary.
That was right. I was fucking sweating.
I thought you were going to talk about the time that we ran into Bruce at the at Manders wrestling event in Iowa City.
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh man, when Manders had the Hawkmania 1, the very first one at the saloon.
Oh yeah, I couldn't go to it, but Bruce won.
Oh yeah, we ran into Bruce there. It was hilarious.
I didn't even know he was going. He was like, "Yeah, I showed up to Manders saying to watch him kick ass." I was like, "Nice."
That's fantastic.
Ooh, that's a good story, man. I enjoyed that.
Well, I appreciate it. It was definitely a memorable moment in my life. And then WrestleMania was nuts. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, baby. I enjoyed that.
Anyway, a while back we had, and we can get off topic on all these because there's plenty of details to go into. But a while back, I asked a bunch of our fans to give us questions for any guests, and obviously you were a big one at the time because the season was still going on. So I have a list of kind of little pointers that I put down to ask you about, and I'm just going to run down. And some of them actually it would apply to Rob as well. So Rob, you can answer as well.
And I want to take a break to say fuck the coronavirus, because we would be doing this where I was sitting in between George and Rob in Nashville, and you guys would have an even better podcast because it would be even more personal.
Drake,
But-
it sounds like you really want to be in between me and Rob right now, man.
Right.
yeah, man, I just want to go to Nashville and cuddle you guys, man.
I'm not sure if you're pissed off because this fucked up the podcast or if you just wanted to go skiing or something.
Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly right.
it's the only skiing place open in Nashville right now.
Oh, stop.
Okay, back to the questions. So some of these
Yeah, Drake, wait real quick.
Hold on, let's just
Take a moment.
take a moment to realize Drake just got bodied, dude.
I got bodied, bro. What am I supposed to say?
Hey, it's 2020 and Drake's gay for both of you. It's okay.
Dude,
Oh, Ward, that was comedy.
So
That's what people pay for, is that content.
that stuff right there. I'm
Oh.
going to start with this. This is for you specifically, George. Fucking hilarious. And obviously, coming from the KF system, we know, like, don't listen to the noise. Media isn't shit, yada, yada,
Yep.
even though we're literally the media now. Doug Gottlieb had a segment where or maybe a tweet where he said that you were not a good blocking tight end.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh. My KF answer was check the tape.
Okay. That's a good one because the tape said otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think Hawkeye and 49er Nation basically covered you on that one.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't have to say anything. I was good on that. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I think to this day he gets just absolutely raped on
I
Twitter.
still get tagged and stuff about it.
Well,
Yeah.
what was his thing? Like he stole credit cards or something back in college, or
I don't know. Probably.
like you look under anything he ever tweets, it's like, oh, Doug, you still stealing credit cards?
It's like OJ's tweets. What a killer tweet, man.
yeah, people don't forget, bro.
All right. The next one, and this is for either of you. George, I'll start with you, George. On one of your pancake blocks in the end zone, there's a close up of you absolutely hysterically laughing. It appears. So people started to ask the question: do you like a pancake block or a touchdown more?
If it's like fourth quarter, win the game, I'll take a touchdown. If it's like that, I'll take the touchdown. But like majority of it, I would much rather push someone like 10 yards back and then pancake them and feel their breath.
That's a grown man with a family, man, and you laughed at him like that was unbelievable.
People really enjoyed that.
I know how that guy felt. That was me a couple of times. My first week as a linebacker. It was not fun.
Oh, well, that brings us to our next question. George, how many touchdowns did you score against Kevin?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think it was your first day, and you came downhill, and you weren't looking at me. I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to eat this dude's lunch.
It happens, dude. Like, literally, because, like, Ben was hurt, Bo was hurt, the fucking freshmen that we had at linebacker were hurt. So, like, Ward, you're a linebacker now. Like,
hey, Ward, good luck in 9-on-7, first time ever.
Going up against fucking George Kittle. It was like, well, I'm like 208 pounds at the time. George has got like 50 pounds on me.
I was like 260.
Like, dude, you just tossed me around that entire fucking camp. I hated my life.
Did Kevin start to, in your eyes, like morph into a bowl of Panda Express?
No, I don't know. Like you can tell when a guy isn't, and this is nothing against you, Ward, but like when you're not confident.
Please just go ahead and end my life right here.
No, but you can tell when a dude's not 100% confident what he's doing. Like that was your first rep at linebacker. You were not 100% confident you were like gonna just be fucking insane. So like you notice that, and you're just like, like you like when like one of my favorite like in the NFL, like when one of the starters rotates out or like a third string guy comes in, you can 100% tell that he's ready to get crushed.
He's ready to get crushed. Rob, what about you? I don't for just total transparency. I don't watch a lot of football anyway, and I definitely haven't watched like specific tape on you, Rob. So I don't know if you're a blocking tight end or not, but would you rather pancake somebody or score tutty?
Drake, answer that question for me.
My guy Rob is only cares about pancaking guys.
Only.
Yeah. The thing is, he scored some touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But when I had to get it out of him to him even tell me that he scored a touchdown or caught a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. Like, my guy didn't even talk about the fact or tell me that he had ever caught a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers until I asked him.
Humble guy.
We were in the gym getting after it, and they were on the field doing blocking drills and shit. Like, my guy would rather catch a body.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the most part, just being new to the position. Like, I've coming from a receiver, I've like caught in a lot of touchdowns. So humble brag. So like the point is that is to just kind of get better at the position. So right now, that's kind of been my main focus, is just getting better at the blocking. So yeah, I could have had a touchdown or, you know, a couple catches or something, but when I go to the tape, I worry about like my blocking at the end of the day.
Okay, that makes sense.
Progressing at that.
Hey, Rob also throws a nasty cut block.
A nasty cut, dude. He is Robbie fucking Beanstalk chopping dudes down.
Hey, Clue, I'll say that when you get a guy, when you cut block a guy like flush, that's also up there with like great feelings.
Yeah.
One of the best feelings.
Yeah, it's such a great. You're just like, I got you.
I have to imagine. So I obviously can't relate like to what I did in college, but in high school I played linebacker and made tackles all the time, second all time at my high school. So anyway, when you make a perfect tackle on defense, I guess I tackled a couple guys in college. It almost feels like you don't even feel the contact. It's just this perfect like sequence of events, and I got to imagine like a clean cut feels just like that.
No doubt.
Yeah, very, very similar. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
On the other side of the spectrum, when you get cut, it does not feel like no contact. You fucking feel that shit.
Nah.
Yeah,
dude, I get cut as a tight end sometimes. DBs, oh my gosh, they cut my knees all the time.
I got cut as a fullback all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, Juice gets cut almost every play, I swear. Linebackers and DBs.
Absolute thoroughbred stud.
Yeah, that man needs to come on the pod as well, because
George, can you invite Juice over to your house sometime when you invite me over? I want to hang out with him.
We are 100% can hang out with the Juice.
The Juice.
The juice box emoji. So that's the only way I talk to him now.
I know. Every single Instagram post of his, you comment 4 juice box emojis.
That's great.
Consistency is key.
Consistency. So funny that the story of Kevin coming down to linebacker came up, because someone, when I asked these questions, wanted to know how many touchdowns, George, you scored on Kevin in practice.
Well,
I don't know.
I only got about a week against George, so I came down from safety. And I was only with the ones for a week before Ben got back. So, I don't know. He probably scored 4 or 5 during that week. Yeah.
Okay, maybe sometimes. No, but that was one thing what Kevin did have. He was a DB, so he could cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one thing he did have going for him. It was just the 9-on-7 was always enjoyable.
As long as he was having a good ankle.
It was not. It was
Kevin,
not
how was
enjoyable.
your first blocks experience?
Fucking awful. Dude, so it's 3 reps in a block session, right? You go 1, 2, 3. I think I was on the ground twice, and then the other one I was like off the sideline. I wasn't even on the field anymore.
Oh.
That was my first blocks experience. It fucking sucked.
Wasn't
I'm gonna talk to Marty and see if we can get the tape on that.
That'd be funny.
Sure you can. For both of you, any favorite pre or post game meals?
Oh, pregame meal is grilled chicken, pasta, and some fruit.
Let's see. Pregame for me.
Hotel?
What's up?
Yeah, hotel.
Hotel or at our facility. That's our stadium. Our cafeteria is at our stadium.
Let's see. I do like if it's a night game, I'll go down and I'll eat a big breakfast, and then my pregame meal before that is like I think I do pasta, steak, and some veggies. So I really basically I eat like a handful of the pasta. I mean, I do that weird thing where I puke pregame, so it doesn't even matter that I eat.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel you. Man,
Post game though, if we play on any day that's not Sunday, we get should we play Thursday night or Sunday night? We get Chick-fil-A.
Awesome. I'll still never forget when we beat Indiana in 2015 and we got double crispy Chick-fil-A.
Dude, that was nuts.
That was awesome.
Oh, one of my favorite. That was maybe the best post game ever. What's in your breakfast, George? What do you hound for breakfast on game day morning?
Game days? Let's see. I do like a skillet, so I'll do 2 over easy eggs, peppers, onions, maybe tomatoes and some hash browns, and I just mix it all up and I stuff my face.
I like that.
And if there's waffles, I do waffles, some whipped cream on it with some syrup.
I was gonna say, if I was still playing, I might make my pregame meal just a stack of pancakes.
That's why I love night. I love night games just because, like, in the middle of the day, I take like I don't go to bed till midnight the night before games, and so in a night game, I can wake up, eat breakfast, and go back to sleep. I love that.
You're a psychopath.
I completely stuff my face on Sunday mornings. It's the best.
All right. Poncheros or Chipotle?
Ponch.
Rob?
My guy.
Why though, Rob? Why?
I've never had Ponch, man.
Because I haven't had Poncheros or whatever.
No,
And you haven't had Iowa City Riverside Ponch.
Yeah. So I was back in Iowa City for literally 12 hours, like right after the season. And I went to Ponch with one of my boys, and I think I put a burrito, chips, guac, and queso down in less than 45 seconds.
Well, Drake,
I'm
what's
the eater alive, and I inhaled the whole thing. It was, oh my God.
I have Chipotle
Drake.
at least 5 times a week.
Can I ask this question though? Why doesn't everybody use a bob? Like the little tool to stir it up?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I mean,
Phenomenal
if you
question.
don't,
I went to Qdoba like right before I went to Poncheros, and I asked for guac, and they just do an ice cream scoop full of guac and just put it in the middle of your burrito.
That's
so when
sad.
you take the bite, you just get a bite of guacamole.
Yeah.
I mean, that other half of your burrito is dry as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, in the burrito.
Yeah, in the burrito. In the bowl, it's easy because you just shake it up. It's
As Kevin and I know, you have to let the burrito sit. It's if you bring it home,
A little bit.
yeah, it's about a 7-minute wait time to eat if you let it.
No. We live 2 minutes away from Poncheros, man.
True, dude.
Okay, probably 4 minutes.
You have it wrapped up in the little wrap, and when you get back, then it's perfect.
Gotta let it cook it. Gotta let it cook in the tinfoil for a little bit together.
Mhm.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, George,
Yes.
George, you said you only got one burrito. Drake, tell him the rule.
One's a snack, two's a meal.
Yeah, I know. Sorry that I was going to dinner 30 minutes later.
I don't want to hear your excuses.
Did you go to Greg?
I know. Claire, we literally get there and Claire goes, look, you have an hour and a half. We're going to dinner in an hour and a half. I'm getting my hair done. You can go do what you want to do. And I was like, sick. I literally went to Ponch, and I think I sat there for like 45 minutes. And I went to where'd I go? I went to another restaurant. Oh, I went to the Hoo Ha. No, not these.
Jesus.
I went into Hoo Ha next door.
Dude, George, is Claire like? Does Claire manage your life? Like, is she really what keeps you together?
Oh, majority of that, yeah.
Okay, feel like
she helps me. I mean, that's its own little thing. You could have Claire on here; she could tell you stories. Holy shit!
I know. We said before that we need to get Claire her own episode because she has her. I mean,
women's basketball stories and all that stuff. Oh
Yeah.
But no, she is a huge part of it, and what I think she does such a great job of too is she handles all this stuff. Rob's flipping off the computer right now, pointing at you, Drake.
Why?
Such a good job of. Oh yeah, they're asking me about you. She walks in.
Me again?
Yeah, we're
Claire,
talking.
we love you.
They want to give you your own episode.
Dude, I'm in.
She's in. Well, that was easy.
Boom.
That's $20 every person I bring you.
Dude, we don't make money off of this podcast. We do this for fun.
But give me a damn shirt.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Can you guys get? Hey, Kluver, you know what you do need to make though? Since you're a big CrossFit junkie, you need to give me like a CrossFit tank that's washed up Walkons.
Okay.
I only work out in tank tops.
Yeah, so do I. So I'll get on that. Somebody else actually asked that on Twitter this week, so I'll get on that.
Yeah, I would love a tank top.
Sounds good.
Well, yes, sorry about Claire. Yes, so she helps with what I was going to say is what she does. Her best job is that she takes care of all the stuff that I don't want to deal with during the season. So whether that's like orchestrating, hotel rooms for people coming in, tickets for people coming in, plans for after the game. Basically anything that's not football, she just takes care of. So then I never have to worry about it.
What a saint.
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive. She works long hours just like I do.
It's amazing. Rob, you have a special woman in your life to help you with that, or?
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're about to drop the bomb on the
No,
podcast.
we're working on it. It's
We're
fresh.
working on
Ooh.
it. He said. Okay, all right. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, but you guys know her though.
So it can't be.
Oh,
We do?
Hey, and all I have to say, I'm just gonna leave it at this. She's fine as a mother.
Oh,
Yeah, great.
It's fine.
Well, the good people of this podcast can't see, but Rob is one handsome motherfucker.
yeah, it's true.
Man, you never said that about me, man.
Well,
Well, yeah, because that'd be lying.
Hey, my wife's here, man. She'll beat you up.
Well,
Claire,
you can't get close enough because we're all in quarantine because it's a pandemic. So she's not gonna beat anybody up right now.
yeah.
Well,
But you know I would.
but you know she would though.
Oh yeah, I would love to watch her beat
Only
the piss
thing
out
we
of
gotta
you.
be fighting is these germs.
Don't
Well,
fight
yeah,
each
that's right. We just gotta fight these germs. Yep.
other. Greg, when's the last time you washed your hands?
Dude, I have a bottle of Purell around all the
That
time.
wasn't the
That,
question.
that wasn't the question. When's the last time you
You
washed
washed
your
your
hands?
Probably 3 hours ago.
Oh,
That's not good enough. We
That's
need to
not-
up those
you
numbers.
got to up those numbers.
It's a
It's
rookie
okay.
number.
It's okay. All he does is hang out with boss and sit by the pool. So
True. Yeah, that's it. Wink, wink.
there's some other extracurriculars. Too,
Drink Budweisers and talk to you fools.
but,
Yeah, with Kluver, any more questions from fans? Those are
yeah,
fun.
there's a couple more. There was one dumb one, and I'm not gonna ask that one because it's
Because dumb questions don't get asked on this podcast.
yeah. So you actually are followed by Stone Cold and The Rock on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I peeked.
Yeah, you peaked. Which one would you choose as a tag team partner, and what would your guys' finisher be?
Oh. Let's see. I'm gonna go with so this is like peak Rock,
Yeah,
peak.
they're at their peak. Yeah, you had to choose one. I think I know who you'd choose.
If I could do a double Stone Cold Stunner on somebody, I'd probably lose my mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Like I stunner him, and then he goes like,
And then, yep,
and then Stone Cold turns him around and hits them with it.
dude, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I would.
What if you double kicked and did it start at the same time, double shoulder? I think your heart would explode.
If I
Or
got,
just heart would explode.
my heart's fluttering right now.
All right, Rob, who would be your dream tag team partner? You don't even got to choose between those.
John Cena.
Dino, baby. Fuck yeah. You can't see me,
And I
boy.
would dress exactly like how he used to. Big jersey, long jean shorts, and a flat bill and wristband.
Yes.
Fuck
Hey,
yeah,
Gro-
dude.
Gronk made his WWE debut the other day
I saw that. We saw that.
with
Is that you guys' future path?
I will say, one other thing I would love to do is to do like a super kick with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Oh,
Just through some. Or can you imagine hitting an RKO with Randy Orton?
I would. How about you
Okay,
get
how
up?
about this? How about this? How about this? Who would you want to take a finisher move from?
I want. I
Like
want
your
the.
dream. Your
Stone
dream.
Cold.
I want
Or
the. sh-
Rey
I want the.
Mysterio.
No, Rob, I think you might have took mine, bro.
I want the Shane McMahon coast to coast in my face.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. But can you imagine like getting choke slammed by like the Undertaker? Like that's it. Like
Oh, it'd be-
I think losing to the Undertaker at WrestleMania might be mine. So it might.
yeah, I would love to lose.
Getting a clean Batista bomb. Just flat on your back, dude. Just knocking the wind out of you a little bit.
I don't know. I
Just
might take.
serious.
What did the Big Show do to go through the arena or through the ring?
Oh, to make
Choke slam.
yeah, it was a choke slam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
bro.
choke
I
slam.
might take that ring.
No, but
dropping
like, what if-
choke slam.
Like you're on the top rope, you jump off, and Randy Orton RKO's you through a table.
I would love that.
Like I would cry.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Oh,
Um,
who's the? Oh no.
Who?
Rey Mysterio, though, I bought his album back in the day, and I made my dad drive around in the car with me and listen to the Rey Mysterio wrestling album, bro.
I mean, if Roman Reigns would demolish me, but I'd take a little.
I would take a spear from Goldberg.
Oh God.
Ooh, yeah. Or a Ric Flair, man.
Goldberg.
Backhand or by Ric Flair,
Oh.
backhand to the chest. Like a couple of those bad boys.
So this all begs the question, George. People obviously know your affinity to wrestling. Like, when it's all said and done, given the opportunity, would you pursue something?
Yeah. Claire's looking at me as that you asked me that question. She was in my responses. Thanks for that, guys. I was going to stall in this conversation for a couple years. No, but it's something that I mean, I would want to like train at it. Like, luckily I got Manders, so I could just like learn something. I wouldn't want to go out there and just look like an idiot. Like, I don't
Right.
know.
No,
But,
don't worry. Don't worry.
I mean, it's so much fun. And like the one thing I always come back to is I enjoyed wrestling. And then I did a Stone Cold Stunner like in a match with like 70 people watching. Like
It was great. It was
And
fantastic.
it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. Like the rush that I got from it.
Exhilarating.
Yeah, it was exhilarating. I was like, all right, I get why people do this. Like, I get why Manders does it. Like, it's awesome. Like, it's so much fun. And so that's like the biggest, like, that's why I love it, because I get why people do it.
Yeah. No, it's a rush for sure. 2 more questions from the fans, and then we can let this fall where it may. What would John Lynch's wrestler gimmick be?
John Lynch? That's funny. Give me a sec.
And what would Aaron Rodgers' wrestling gimmick be?
I feel like Aaron would be like a
McMahon.
No, I think Aaron would do something funny, like something super like cheesy.
Okay, over the top for sure.
Yeah.
John Lynch and Daniel Bryan.
Did you say cheesy?
Yeah.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah.
Go Pack, go. Cheesehead.
No pun intended, but pun came through. You think he'd be Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think John Lynch would, do that very well. The outworks you and then whoops your ass doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My top 3 wrestlers of the current day are still Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and
Roman.
The Shield is.
I think Dean Ambrose pretty much personifies me, man. If you could put me in a WWE ring, it's fucking that guy.
I don't know about that, but
See you, Drake.
Yeah, sure. The last question, and I don't know if Rob is into Pokemon or not, but what's your favorite Pokemon?
Pikachu.
Dragonite.
Oh, I love you, George. Catch a little Dratini.
I still have the original Dragonite Pokemon card, like the original one. It's in my wallet. It's with me every day.
Damn, I used to have a shiny.
Ooh.
Yeah. But
Rob, I'm with you 1,000% on that.
I was
one,
Pikachu
dude.
for Halloween like 3 times.
Yeah, that's also the most that and Charizard is the most basic bitch answer to Pokemon that you could possibly answer.
100%. But that's all I loved as a kid. That's like me dressing as Barney 3 times too.
Yeah, Barney. Yeah. Hey, did you guys see that they remade the Mewtwo Strikes Back movie on Netflix?
Absolutely.
I made it. I'm like 30 minutes into it. I got to watch the whole thing. My wife was making fun of me about it.
Did the MJ documentary drop yesterday?
I don't know.
The Bulls one, you mean?
No, it did not. That was supposed to come out till this summer.
No, I know,
it's the
but
summer.
because of the quarantine, they said they were going to drop it early.
Like a couple episodes maybe or something like that, right?
Oh, no, if it does, let us know.
Yeah.
That'd be big. Yeah. What else? Anything going on?
How's Nashville, boys? Well, pre-quarantine, that is.
Pre-tornado and pre-quarantine, how was Nashville?
Oh, it was fun. It's nice seeing all the guys down here again. We train with a big group of people, so that's always fun. But yeah, the last week and a half has been pretty isolated.
So, question, like, why Nashville? Like, why'd you guys decide to plant some roots down in Nashville?
Literally was because my rookie season ended, and I was gonna just stay at my parents' house and train there, and I realized and just work out at Iowa because my parents live in Iowa City, and I was like, well, I don't have a quarterback at Iowa, and I can lift. You can lift everywhere, but like if you don't have something to throw to you, then it's just kind of a hassle. Especially as being a tight end because receiving and catching the ball matters in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so so CJ or Beth was like, "Hey, come down to Nashville with me, like just try it out." And then Trent Taylor's a wide receiver from the Niners, and I was friends with him. So he's like, "I'm in Nashville too. Like, come down. We'll all train together." And that's how I had my rookie year. I just lived in East Nashville with my wife and our dog at an Airbnb for the whole off season. And then fell in love with it. Did it again this past year. So was it like January 2019? And that's when I got Rob. I had a 4-bedroom place. I needed a roommate, so that's when Rob came down with me.
That place was legendary. I missed that house.
So what?
I said I missed that house. That house is legendary.
Yeah, the house where you lost my dog.
Listen, man. Listen.
How is Deanie?
Deanie is the goodest girl. She's incredible. She tried to get into a fight with some big ass dog today on our walk, and then when this like two doors down, there was this little ass dog, and she was terrified of it. So we're working through it.
Hilarious.
She has really good combine times though, so she might be up for the draft this year.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's probably postponed, but I guess what else?
Oh, hey, I don't know why this is thought of this, but for the draft, now hear me out. I saw this on Twitter. Wouldn't it be cool if they made it like fantasy football, like the draft? So like everyone chimes on their computer and you like see like there's a video like in the draft rooms and stuff of like guys talking about draft players as they're on the clock.
That would be sick, but if they do that, they have to add the ESPN music. Dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I would lose my mind. I'd be able to watch
when you're on the clock.
for like 30 seconds. I think it'd be comedy.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm just glad that it didn't happen. I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to say I'm just glad that it's not our year because otherwise I wouldn't have got drafted. But I realized I didn't get drafted.
George, what would you have done if spring ball would have gotten canceled one of our years? Like, how envious are you that spring ball got canceled?
Holy cow. Early on, I would have really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. I think like my freshman, sophomore year, I would have liked it even more.
Yeah.
I would have drank even more than I did.
I would have played a lot of video games.
You still played a lot of video games.
You're right.
Yeah. You're a long snapper. Shut up.
Dude, we're past that. We're 101 episodes in.
We're not past that. We'll never be past the fact.
No, Kluber, this is the one reason I'll never be past it.
While we watch
for 4 years.
Is because of corn breath?
I lived with Corn for 4 years, and just hearing him talk about anything difficult in practice made me want to punt. Dude, today I had to punt it like 12 times. Oh, really? How was my 12th rep in a row of 9-on-7, Connor? Did it look good?
Corn should honestly come on the podcast, but
dude, I love him so much. That's the GOAT.
You can do podcasts and KF voices.
Corn loved doing the KF voice. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, he excels at it too. He gives pregame speeches in it.
That's incredible.
Wow, we're gonna have to do it now.
Yeah, shout out Cornbrath engaged. Boom boom.
Yeah,
he did get engaged. Yeah,
crazy.
Look at all this.
I fucking love Corn.
So I got a legendary Corn story. He may or may not have been at Brothers, and somebody recognized him and took their shoe off and told Corn. It was like a nice shoe, like it was like a Jordan.
I remember this.
And he took his shoe off his foot and handed it to Corn and told him to punt it. And Corn hit a fucking piss missile in the ped mall with some dude's short.
Cornbrath punted a phone and shattered it.
Dude,
no, he did not.
I'm telling you, I don't know. And for the fans listening, I know a lot of people for a while, like while Corn was punting in games, like Corn had some shitty punts in some games, and obviously his whole career didn't pan out the way he probably originally thought it was going to. But
fuck it, that's all water under the bridge.
In practice, boys, in practice, I've never seen an all-pro punter hit balls like Connor Cornbrath hit. I swear to God, he hit one to the moon that still hasn't come down to this day. I could find it on tape. It was the third day of the third week of spring ball, like our second year. I'll never forget this shot he hit. For those wondering, a good like hang time in college is like 4.8. Like that's really, really good. This ball was a 5.67 hang time. A
And
5.
it was like 60 yards, all right?
It was 77 yards.
Ew.
I have never seen anything, and there was a wind too, but I've never seen anything like it. And then he would get in games and it just didn't come off the foot the same way. But it's all right. Corn is a legend of Iowa City for sure.
Yeah, we
You put a
thoroughly
stamp
enjoyed
on it.
our time in Iowa City. 8:30 Miller boys.
8:30 Miller.
8:30 Miller is still in the Iowa football family.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Brady
It is.
Ross had that sumbitch remodeled.
I know he
Yeah,
did.
you would not even recognize it right now.
Oh, no, I drive past it every time I get back to Iowa. Just remember my roots.
You're
Look at it every time. It's like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Oh, I can't-
If those walls could talk, man.
I think they're too drunk to talk, Eric.
They would slur all their words. Yep.
those walls would have to sign non-disclosure agreements. They've seen some shit now.
Yeah,
That's
for
a historical fact, for any fans that want to see, where Iowa football's history really is outside of Kinnick. Look at 8:30 Miller.
830 Miller Ave.
Iowa City, Iowa. That's a 240.
And if you're wondering if it's really worth the trip, you just go right out onto Highway 1 there and walk down to Culver's and get yourself a Butterburger, and it makes it all worth it.
It is. Or Panda Express is right there, too.
Panda is right there as well,
Mhm.
by the Walmart.
Oh, no. Hey, what's the little breakfast spot right there by Panda? Midtown?
Midtown.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Midtown.
You guys need to figure out a way to do, like, a shout-out deal with them. If you guys get, like, free breakfast for shout-outs.
Oh, I'm sure we could reach out.
3
We
days
could
a
probably
week.
reach out and do it.
Oh, my gosh.
We had an episode sponsored by Donnelly's.
No way.
Episode 100 was sponsored by Grey Duck Vodka. So if you ever decide to come up with a brand for yourself, you and Rob come up with a
How much did Grey Duck Vodka pay? No, I can't ask that.
not $1, man. It was a free endorsement. We're all about free endorsements here, dude.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, we are. So
Hey,
Now, if you give us some money under the table that isn't like tax deductible, that's hush hush too. You know my
Can you endorse D's for me?
D's nuts.
all right. Okay. Well,
Fellas, thanks for having me on. I got to wrap it up. My wife has yelled at me twice now, but I
Boys.
appreciate having us on.
It's done.
yeah, no problem.
We loved it.
Kluver, yeah, you do run the show. Ward, you did a lot better this time than last time. And Drake, you are just, an idiot.
Hey
And that's
guys,
that's all that needs to be said.
maybe I'll see you next offseason, huh?
Episode
Hey, if we're still locked down in a month, call me. I'll be on again.
Oh, perfect.
I'll
Episode-
update you on my life.
Episode 101 with the one and only Rob Ton and George Kittle.
Mm.
Walk-ons out.